What's up, good people? What's up, good people? It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it be. We in the lab today. We ain't outside in the brand new because it's too cold outside. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen today. So outside. But y'all know, I know I'm a little late, and I apologize for being late this morning. But I had to handle some business this morning. So I'm a little late. But y'all know I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here. So it's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., the Impact Builder, coming to you from the brand new suite on this Think Different Thursday. What do we do as entrepreneurs, as leaders? We think differently. We don't think like everybody else. We don't have the same mindset as everybody else. We don't operate like everyone else. Excuse me. We don't operate like everybody else. And Thursday is Greatness Day as well. I hereby crown Thursday Greatness Day. And for those that follow me, you all know on Thursday when the kind of motivational post that I do is about greatness, what greatness is, what greatness is, what greatness does, what greatness is all about. And one of the posts that I'm going to be doing today on greatness isn't measured in how tall someone is. Greatness isn't measured in the little things that people may consider great. You know what greatness is? Greatness is passion, measured in passion. Greatness is measured in your work ethic. Greatness is measured in your ability to be able to adapt. And as I'm talking about this, it made me think of Muhammad Ali, and then I'm going to get into what I'm going to be talking about today, which is measure and adapt. But Muhammad Ali, who was the greatest fighter of all times and one of the greatest human beings of all times, when he was in the ring, when he fought different people, he had to have a strategy for how he fought different people. The way that he fought, Joe Frazier was not the way that he fought George Foreman. He had to measure, and he had to adapt to who it was that he was in the ring with. If you're going to have what we're calling, what I've been talking about last week and this week, this brand new unleashing, y'all. If you're going to unleash your entrepreneurial excellence and utilizing this step, this is one of the 10 steps. This is step number 9 in creating value that lasts. You've got to be able to measure and adapt. That's what we're going to talk about today. But Muhammad Ali had the ability to measure and adapt. The same way that he fought, or the way that he fought George Foreman, who was bigger, stronger, more powerful than Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier was a pit bull. He was going to keep coming. He was shorter. He was shorter than Muhammad Ali. George Foreman was taller than Muhammad Ali. But that fight that was in Joe Frazier, that wasn't the same fight that was in George Foreman. So the way that he had to measure them and adapt to their fighting styles was different. And as entrepreneurs, you're going to have to measure and adapt as you go along, because one year is not going to be the same as the next year or the year before. And your industry is not going to be the same that it was, today that it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So how you measure and adapt is going to be key to you being able to create value that lasts. Muhammad Ali was able to have the ability to be able to last because he had the ability to measure, which was understanding the strategy, who it was that he was fighting. He had to understand, hey, I got to study this person. I got to study, pick film. I've got to understand what the tendencies are of this fighter versus that fighter. My jab might work against Joe Frazier because that'll keep him away, whereas that jab isn't going to work against George Foreman because George Foreman going to plow right through that jab because he's bigger and stronger. So as an entrepreneur, how are you measuring your industry? How are you measuring your customers, your clients? Because they change over the years. Their needs are different. So how are you going to meet their needs, not only today, but tomorrow and the day after? First, you got to measure. Then you have to adapt. You measure, then you adapt. You measure, then you adapt. It's interesting. I looked up because I was interested in kind of was going to be talking about measuring and adapting and your adaptability. And I came across this diagram, and I had to look more into it. And it caught me, and I thought it would be great to talk about with measure and adapt. Everybody knows what IQ is, but these three types of quotients. One is called your IQ, one is called your EQ, and then the third one is called your AQ. And most people know what your IQ is, right? That's your intelligence quotient. Most people may have even heard of the EQ, which is your emotional quotient. And I'm going to go into each of these. But then there's the AQ that, y'all might know as well, but I figured I'd bring it here today and talk about it too when it comes to measuring adaptability. Your AQ is your adversity quotient. So let me tell you what the difference is between the three. So your IQ, which is your intelligence quotient, it measures a person's ability to reason, to learn, to solve problems, process information. And it can fluctuate, of course, with age and environment. But your intelligence quotient measures how you, that's you, the entrepreneur, the leader, your ability to reason, to learn, to solve problems, and to process information. So how you, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, have the ability to reason, to learn, to solve problems, and to process information is your intelligence quotient. Your EQ, which is your emotional quotient, is your ability to measure and to perceive, manage, express, and deal with emotions in oneself and others. As leaders, you got to deal with others' emotions. You get that person that comes in and they are just not having a good day. How do you deal with it? As an entrepreneur, you're going to have partners that may just, it ain't that day. How do you deal with it? Your ability to be able to do those two, measure and adapt. Your product or service isn't where you want it to be. How do you deal with it from an intelligence standpoint? How do you deal with it from an emotional standpoint? And this is what entrepreneurial excellence is about, y'all. It's about not your IQ, your EQ, but here's the third one that I wanted to get to, is your AQ, your adversity quotient. It's your ability to respond to challenges, failures, pressures, or risk in life. I'm going to read that again for you. Your AQ, which is your adversity quotient, is your ability or your response to challenges, failures, pressures, or risks in life. Your AQ is determined by factors like, let me give you some examples, like control, challenge, commitment, and confidence. I'm going to give you those 3 C's again. They are factors. Your AQ is determined by factors like control, challenge, commitment, and confidence. It can be improved. You can improve your AQ through training, positive thinking, but you got to be measured and you have to have the willingness to adapt. So today, I want you to think about, as you think about your unleashing your entrepreneurial excellence, and this step of creating value that lasts, and how you measure what it is that you're doing and how you're going to adapt. What challenges do you have? How are you going to measure the challenge, and adapt? How are you going to deal with your failures? How are you going to measure and adapt? How are you going to deal with your commitments? Measure and adapt. How do you deal with your confidence that you have? Measure and adapt. So as you go through your day-to-day today, don't just think about your IQ. Don't just think about your EQ. But I want you to think about your AQ and what ability do you have, and your response. What response do you have with the challenges that you have, the failures that you might have encountered, the pressures that you might be under? As entrepreneurs and as leaders, we're always under pressure, or just the risk in life. Measure. That means when you measure something, you take the time to study it, to look at it, to understand it. If the numbers ain't right, study them, look at them, understand them. We're coming to the last 60 days of 2023. And what we want to be doing now, what we want to be doing as entrepreneurs and as leaders, is measure and adapt. Measure your 2023. What does your 2023 look like? Be honest about it. If it was a certain way and it doesn't look good, why was it that way? Measure. And then adapt. What do I need to do in 2024 to change what it is that I just found out, the information that I just found out? That's your AQ, your ability to be able to, your response to the challenges that you have. What didn't go right in 2023? What pressure did I have in 2023 that I don't want to have going into 2024? And then take a look at the factors that I just gave to you, which were control, challenge, commitment, and confidence. That's the homework for you today. I need you to measure. Take a look at 2023. And then adapt going into 2024. What am I going to do differently? You know the saying is, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, expecting a different result. So in 2024, if you want different results, you've got to act differently. If you're going to be unleashed, I'm liking that more and more I say it, y'all. 2024 is about being unleashed. When you unleash something, you let it go. You are moving into, you are not bounded. You are limitless in what you can accomplish. I want you to get ready. As TDJ say, get ready, get ready, get ready. Get ready to be unleashed in 2024. I want you to unleash your entrepreneurial excellence in 2024. Take the value that you're creating by measuring and adapting right now that you've done in 2023 and unleash it in 2024. That's how you create value that lasts. Because I told you that's what we're about this year. 2023 was about create value. Now that we've created it, we're going to unleash it. That's how you unleash it. You measure your IQ. You measure your ability to be able to reason, to learn, to solve problems and process information. You unleash your EQ, which is measure. You got to measure your ability to be able to perceive, to manage and express and deal with emotions in yourself, in you, and in others. And then you got to unleash that AQ, which is your adversity quotient, which is how you measure your response to challenges, to failures, to pressures, or risk in life. How are you responding to them? Do you fold up like a lawn chair? Do you cower back? How are you going to respond? As entrepreneurs, as leaders, how are you going to respond? And I know here, those of us in this brand, in the brand new suite, we prepare ourselves for these. We prepare ourselves for the adversities. We measure, we adapt. As an entrepreneur, you measure, you adapt. What's the industry going to be like for you, the industry that you're in? You measure and you adapt. If you're going to sustain yourself in your industry, you've got to have the ability to measure and adapt. You won't survive without it. Those who are successful, those who have been able to make it through the pandemic, you know what they did? They measured and they adapted. Their AQ gave them the ability to be able to create value that lasted. Get ready to unleash your entrepreneurial excellence in 2024. That's all I'm saying. That's what we doing today, y'all. Are you ready? I'm going to ask you that question. Are you ready to unleash? That's what I want you to sit with today. Ask yourself that question. Are you ready to unleash? Let's get ready to unleash our entrepreneurial excellence. Let's get ready to unleash our leadership excellence for these last 2 months, these last 60 days in 2023 and going into 2024 unleashed. It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., the Impact Builder. We going somewhere, y'all. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Have a super fantastic day. Stay warm. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.